Hello guys, we are back with another video for Faction Wars. We have beat Dwarfs 21 today, first time, and unfortunately I've already changed all the gear on the champions I used. I do have screenshots of the builds and the masteries, which I will put on the end of this clip of me clearing the boss. Please take note. This was the first try. I'm really happy with the builds. We will be live tomorrow on Twitch at 9 PM GMT, which is UK time, trying to clear the last factions, which is Ogre Tribes. If you guys need any help on Faction Wars, please hit me up on Twitch or Twitter or Discord, and we'll arrange that. Now we're going to go into the clip on how I cleared the boss, the gears, the masteries, and the boss mechanics. So overall, the boss is probably the hardest boss. This is the red boss. On the bright side, there is no ads to worry about. However, he does have some interesting kit. So we're going to go into his passive. The more damage that you do to him, the more turn meter that he gains. So it's really important that you don't hit him too hard, too fast, because he will get more turns a lot faster, and you will be like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio to him. So it's really good to try and stay with a 1-to-1 ratio with him. And then his A2 is AoE that attacks all enemies, places 4 stuns and 1 true fear. These are non-resisted. He also cleans the debuffs off himself and also grants himself extra turn, so technically it's on a 3-turn cooldown. And then his A1 is a single hit and ignores basically defense. So defense becomes a useless stat. Stats is mechanics. How do we beat them? Basically, you need to have HP on everyone. I would say you should be looking for 60k ideally, and having your lowest HP champion in the lead, because he's more likely to hit them. And personally myself, I use Trunda and Tormund as my two tanks that will receive the hits, and you'll see that in this video. You do need to be careful because there is a few debuffs that will make his AI change. So if you guys know anything about unkillables and how the slow boy works in that, it's roughly around about the same really. So as you can see here, the waves are not really causing us any problems. It's just a slow grind. Tormund is in stun set, so there is extra CC coming from there, but really Tormund and Molly are just going to lock down the waves, not really causing me any problem. I do target Brockmort first because he's the reviver, so just to make it a bit quicker. So we're just doing them A1s, we're just trying to get our turns back, ready for the next wave. Even if you auto the waves, just make sure you, when you get towards the end of the waves, just make sure you try to get your rotations back on your champions. It is really important and it can have a big impact. So here we are, we're just coming to the end of the first wave, 4.5 minutes, not too bad. Seeing we're doing it on manual, we are taking our time to make sure we're not trying to make any mistakes, and then we're going to make our way onto the second wave. So we made our way to the second wave quite comfortable. We have got Draco, we have got Norn in this wave to be careful of. However, I personally like to go after Maneater and Steel Skull, because they're the most annoying two in this wave. Everyone else I just want to try keep them CC'd, and with Torment and Molly that's pretty great CC between them, so I don't really have any troubles here, as you'll see, and we make our way to the boss quite comfortable. As you can see, Tormund is doing a fantastic job and freezing, stunning. We're using some provokes as well from Molly. We will make sure we apply that tap down to make sure we receive less damage. But yeah, we are looking really good here at the moment. Again, Molly's passive becomes really really nice here because it helps us just get a bit more turn meter. So I personally like to use the provokes from Molly just to make sure that they hit her, and we get a few more turns. I think that kind of really helps us and the whole team as well. There we go. Steel Skull's down, Maneater's down. So it's just about trying to kill the rest off slowly and surely, and then again trying to recycle them turns on a few of the vital champions, and just make our way over to the boss now really. So and again, just make sure that you're reading the boss mechanics. Remind yourself what he does. Take your time, because one mistake can be costly. Now you'll notice I got Rearguard in the lead, and that's because I just wanted a bit more HP for herself. At the end of the day, it gives out the ally protection and the heals on everyone, but she doesn't really receive it herself. So it's really important to have her in Immortal or Lifesteal. I personally prefer Immortal more than anything, because the heals add up over turn. Again, you're building up high HP, etc, etc. And now we just want to be landing our debuffs like a defense down, attack down. We have got two champions here that can land attack down. Bear in mind, Grizzlejar's not fully booked on his A3, he's only fully booked on that A2. Everyone else is fully booked. Grizzlejar's the only one as well that doesn't have masteries. Now you might notice that Tormund and Molly don't really bring much to the boss. However, Tormund's passive is really nice for the boss if you build him with low HP, as well as Trunda. I ideally want the boss to kind of swap out between Trunda and Tormund, and that's what happened within the first quarter of the fight. And it really did help us, keep the whole team alive. We really don't want to take any hits on Rearguard or Molly Tanker in this first against the boss. Molly doesn't really bring much as well, because you don't want it to get hit, so the passive doesn't do much unless when except from the boss when he does his AoE, and then she is in there with the revive, which is quite nice because it puts up block damage as well. However, personally, my MPV for this faction and the champion I felt give me the most utility out of these 5 champions was Rearguard Sergeant, because she's bringing in healing, she brings ally attack protection, she brings a AoE attack down, and then she has that single defense down, and it just really fits with the waves, with the AoE attacks, and then with the defense down on her A1. Her whole kit is just amazing from start to finish. So if you have one rearguard or even two, I would definitely say get her in there. Trunda could be replaced quite easily with Gala Longridge or anyone else. Molly can now be replaced with the Epic, I can't remember her name, that revives. And if anything, she might be a little bit better than Molly now. Torment is kind of new special because of its passive, and you know, that works quite nice. Griswold's really nice with that block debuffs, it really does help. I personally have got me Relentless just to try and get it a bit round, a bit more for the team, and it just works really well. The chemistry in this team was fantastic. I do recommend putting someone like Trunda in lifesteal just to give her a bit more stability, and just so she heals a bit more, because you've seen a few times she's gone down in the fight, struggled to heal a little bit. So I would recommend lifesteal for her if you do have a good set, or Gala if you're using her as a replacement. So you'll see here I bring Trunda back up. We're looking quite comfortable. It does get a little bit close towards the end, but we had enough to beat its boss. I'm really happy that Dwarfs is out of the way. I would still personally say that Night Revs is the hardest faction in my opinion, because of the Vault Waves and the boss, and they're not easy. In Dwarfs, the boss is very hard, and it is the hardest boss, but you don't have the Valk Waves, and I kind of feel if you've got the right CC champions in Dwarfs faction, then it does become a little bit easier to get to the boss. So here's the builds of the team. There's also masteries. The masteries are not perfect because they're more arena or Doom Tower or clan boss, so you might want to tweak them. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment and to subscribe, hit that notification bell as well, and I will see you in the next video.